Hello, today is Saturday, July 11th, 2026. Here is your daily signal. According to the Associated Press, tensions in the Gulf escalated sharply this week after the U.S. military launched strikes on Iran, citing Tehran's attack on 3 ships in the Strait of Hormuz. This region is vital to the world, with the strait responsible for about 20% of global oil shipments, and recurrent military standoffs between the U.S. and Iran have consistently threatened area stability. On July 8, after the American assault, Iran's ability to openly sell crude oil globally was revoked, resulting in a spike in oil prices and a drop in Asian stock markets. President Donald Trump's remarks from the fragile truce even saw the S&P 500 fall 0.3% and the Dow Jones lose as much as 1.1%. Kuwait and Bahrain now face incoming missile threats, suggesting heightened risk for Gulf states and persistent volatility in oil markets. If tensions continue, experts anticipate further disruptions to oil trade and broader regional instability. Next, on to the energy sector in Africa, where ADNOC Distribution has made headlines with a landmark deal. As reported by the Associated Press, ADNOC Distribution signed a definitive agreement to acquire Shell Downstream South Africa for $1 billion, covering all of Shell's local share capital. This move builds on ADNOC's ongoing strategy to expand its global operations and downstream fuel distribution, with the acquisition encompassing 580 company and dealer-owned fuel stations across South Africa. In the near term, South African motorists may see these stations rebranded under ADNOC, and increased competition is expected in the retail fuel market, potentially affecting pricing strategies. With ADNOC expanding its global footprint, regional energy dynamics will shift, and successful integration will depend on managing dealer relationships and staff transitions. Turning now to the frontier of cybersecurity, New Scientist reports that despite global anxiety about quantum computing threats, Peter Shor, the inventor of the notorious algorithm, remains relatively unworried. Shor's algorithm, unveiled in 1994, enables quantum computers to efficiently crack digital security systems like RSA, and with advances in quantum research accelerating worldwide, digital infrastructure faces growing risks. Most current cyber defenses are not yet quantum resistant, as New Scientist highlighted, raising concerns about preparedness and prompting urgent reviews of existing strategies. If quantum computers see widespread adoption, financial transactions and confidential communications could become vulnerable, and regulators may soon require enterprises to embrace quantum-safe cryptography. Without swift adaptation, both global markets and personal data privacy could suffer disruptive impacts. Now, onto the markets. International markets showed mixed moves, with Italy's EWI rising about 0.5% and Spain's EWP up nearly 0.47%, while Belgium's EWK fell 1.3%. France was flat, but the United Kingdom posted a gain of roughly 0.4%. Commodities were mostly lower as gold's GLD drifted down 0.3% and silver's SLV lost 0.35%. While platinum's PPLT bucked the trend with a 1% rise. The biggest drop came from U.S. oil, with USO falling 0.28%. Agriculture posted gains, with DBA up 0.2% and corn ETF corn jumping 1.3%. Uranium saw notable strength as URA gained 1.46%. In the S&P 500 sector, SPY advanced by 0.4%, led by momentum in semiconductors, while Finance XLF also ended higher at 0.3%. On the corporate front, AMD surged about 2% and Nvidia's NVDA jumped over 4%, while Oracle's Oracle dropped more than 2%. Microsoft ticked up just under 0.2%, while Apple ended slightly lower at minus 0.3%. Global MoFi Limited GMM soared 105%, the session's top gainer, while Hioxi Health Technology HAO led the losers with a plunge of over 71%. That's it for today. You can find more news and details on our website. Goodbye.